Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. We have some more breaking news coming out of Ann Arbor today as Coach Morgan is at it again, landing another commitment to his secondary room, this time in a commitment from Ricky Johnson, cornerback out of UNLV. And I think Coach Morgan's done his job. I think in terms of what they needed to do to address some of the depth issues possibly they had in the secondary room, I think he's done it. Added now 4 guys in the last couple of days, and kind of look at it, it's the type of depth room that you'd expect out of a program at Michigan. So again, even though losing guys like Rod Moore, DJ Waller deciding to go on to another school, this room I think you can look at. You always had the high end talent, so there's no question about that. I mean, when you have guys like Will Johnson, Makari Page, Jair Hill, you knew you had the dogs, the NFL players. But now I think you look at it and you feel really, really comfortable about the depth, about some of the versatility they've added in the portal class. So I'd frankly be really, really surprised if they added any more guys in that room, just because I think the job's kind of done, if you will. I think this is a team that's very much or a unit that's very much ready to go into that season and be really, really competitive, be one of the best in the country. So before we get too deep into what Ricky Johnson might bring to Michigan, just wanted to thank all the Michigan fans. I mean, you guys have been rocking with us from the jump, really, and we really appreciate it all the support, all the interactions. It really does mean the world. So if you do enjoy the content, please consider continuing to engage with us. We love talking about it in the comments, love engaging, love all the likes, the subscriptions, all of that means so much. So again, thank you guys. Obviously, huge Michigan fans ourselves, really looking forward to the season. Got the Rose Bowl t-shirt on. That's probably where I think we should be back next year. So I'm really excited. We're really excited about it all. And just getting into what Ricky Johnson brings, I think the fundamental thing I look at with Ricky Johnson is a guy who is probably more versatile than some of the other guys they brought in. I mean, you look, Jaden Mangum's a safety, obviously. Amir Hall, he's a cornerback. I think when I look at Ricky Johnson, I think he can play both positions, frankly. You kind of go back to his UNLV film. He played a lot of zone coverage, had his eyes on the quarterback for most of the time when he was playing that cornerback spot. Did a good job breaking on balls, getting his hands on footballs, taking it away a couple times in his career. So again, I think a guy who that type of versatility, again, I think is important just for this Michigan room to be able to get their guys in the best position. I look at a guy like Jaden McBurrows. You kind of feel like he's best suited to play that nickel role, and whether it's him and Zeke Berry battling it out for there. I think before these portal additions and guys like Ricky Johnson, obviously Amir Hall, you maybe think, oh, is Jaden McBurrows going to be forced to play in that outside boundary corner, which no doubt he can do. But again, for Michigan, it's about trying to get your best units out there, get guys playing in positions that they're really, really comfortable playing in. And I think Ricky Johnson does a good job in addressing that because I think his versatility allows him to slot in a couple different places. And again, allow you to put your kind of more your difference makers possibly. And that's no knock against Ricky Johnson, but those guys who you really expect to be the premier performers, obviously, Jaden Mangum coming in, you certainly think he's primed to be that, having been an all Big Ten kind of player last year. Obviously, some of the young guys like Zeke Berry, Brandon Hillman, you're really excited about. So I think Ricky Johnson's versatility allows him to fill depth in at each position to allow those guys to really settle in a certain spot and be the best, or be in the spot that they're best conducive to play at a really high level. So again, you kind of look just the traits, good speed, good length, all those kind of things that you kind of look for when you're thinking about versatile guys. And again, you need to just be inherently versatile to play the way Michigan wants to play. You need to be able to tackle, you need to be able to cover, you need to be able to play in zone, know where you are, or be aware of your spacing and be able to read and react to plays. That's what Michigan's asked everyone to do. That's why Michigan's been so good. And I think him getting coached by Barry Odom, who, again, one of the better defensive-minded coaches, I think, in the country, I think it's a huge add. And I also think a nice addition is that he's got 2 years of eligibility. So he'll be here this year, hopefully be here next year. And a guy who can kind of grow into this program and be a depth piece and possibly develop into a more consistent contributor. So, again, I don't know that this is the same flashy pickup as Jaden Mangum, who you kind of think comes in, immediately seems to possibly be a day one starter. But guys you need, guys that Michigan needed to fill that depth in. And I think it's a really, really good get. So, and I think what he allowed is kind of what I said, just allowing guys to play the positions they're most conducive to play, And that's kind of what this portal addition Ricky Johnson adds. I think Amir Hall, kind of a similar conversation, obviously, if you watch that video. So again, what I think Coach Morgan's done is put together a secondary room now that you feel really comfortable with, both the top end talent, the depth, and that ability to allow guys to play the position they're most suited to play. So Coach Morgan's done a really, really good job coming in. Obviously, given when Coach Harbaugh left and some of the other secondary coach, or obviously Clinkscale and the secondary coach, it wasn't necessarily the easiest time, just given how the portal mostly wrapped up, at least in the winter time for Michigan, to kind of go add guys. And then obviously in the spring, Coach Morgan, I think, has made up for that, put together a really good unit, have good young guys coming in like Josiah Edmonds. So yeah, I'm really excited for this Michigan secondary room. I think this Ricky Johnson commitment, huge to add that depth, add that versatility into the room. So again, really excited about it, really excited to get into the season. So obviously for the Michigan fans, hope you stick along with us for that, because we are very excited. Certainly think Michigan's going to be pushing for a national title again. And that's all I had today, though. Thank you.